Welcome to the Vertical Sky Journal, the podcast that brings you everything you could ever want to know about Kilimanjaro. The climbing and the fitness, altitude and nutrition, the environment, the wildlife, and the people at the heart of the mountain. Today, a new series, Life on the Mountain. And we are starting with the question everyone Googles at midnight and nobody asks out loud. The toilets, all of it, answered honestly so you can stop wondering and get back to dreaming. So, I think we really need to start this deep dive with a bit of reassurance, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the truthful answer to all of this is that it is fine. It
Yeah.
genuinely is manageably fine.
Yeah,
And honestly, there is one single decision that makes most of the difference, which we will definitely get into.
we will. And, we're looking at this in a really candid guide today, Life on the Mountain, which was written by Graham Noble from Vertical Sky. And the mission here is just to completely demystify this taboo subject.
Right. Strip away the anxiety completely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's a bit like, imagine planning this majestic, once-in-a-lifetime outdoor wedding.
Right.
But then you spend the entire year just secretly agonizing over the porta potty situation.
That is such a brilliant way to put it, actually. And it's so common. I mean, we see people who are meticulously training, they're breaking in their boots, they're studying the altitude charts.
Yeah, packing the duffel bag 100 times.
Exactly. But this unspoken anxiety always circles back to basic human functions. Because, well, when humans are pushed out of their comfort zones into these extreme environments, losing control over basic biological routines it's a deeply primal fear.
It really is. We're so used to modern plumbing.
Right, and absolute privacy. So when you take that away, people feel vulnerable. But the thing is, by tackling the factual reality head on, that fear just evaporates.
So let's tackle it. Let's look at the baseline reality on the ground first. Like what actually exists at these camps?
Well, the honest picture of the public camp toilets is, it's basic.
Yeah. We're talking about the long drops, right?
Yeah. Yes. The wooden long drop huts. They are at every single camp. And to be completely transparent, they are essentially a wooden shed over a pit.
Right.
And they get incredibly busy at peak times. I mean, thousands of climbers, guides, and porters are sharing these.
And it's entirely survivable, obviously, but it is generally considered the least lovely part of the mountain.
Survivable is definitely the word, especially when you factor in muddy boots and freezing temperatures. It's grim endurance.
Yeah, I mean, queuing for a long drop in the freezing cold does not sound like a holiday. But this brings us to what the guide calls the game changer.
Oh, the private toilet tent. Yes.
The private toilet tent. So for anyone listening who doesn't know, this is a small, clean, zip-up tent. It has a proper seated portable toilet inside, and it's pitched specifically for your group at every camp.
It is an absolute game changer. Vertical Sky includes this as standard on an ethical climb, which is fantastic.
Right, but for anyone climbing with an operator that charges extra for it, the advice from the guide is incredibly clear on this.
Whatever it costs to add it.
Yes, exactly. I mean, broken down per day, it's usually just the price of a coffee.
And it is worth every single penny because it's not just about, physical luxury.
Well, I did wonder about that. I wanted to ask you, actually, is bringing a private toilet tent up a rugged mountain just a bit of glamping? Are we making the mountain too soft?
I get that question a lot, actually. But you have to separate luxury from psychological preservation.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. On a multi-day ascent, preserving your mental energy is just as critical as your physical stamina. It's like, think of your mental energy like a phone battery in the cold.
Okay, I like that.
Every time you dread having to put your boots on and walk to a freezing, dirty public toilet, you're leaving apps running in the background. It drains the battery.
Oh, I see. So dread is actually exhausting.
Exactly. Dread burns vital mental reserves. The private tent basically closes those background apps. It removes the dread so you have a full battery for the summit.
That makes total sense. And the broader logistical picture of this is fascinating, too, because this waste isn't just left in a hole on the mountain.
No, not at all. It is responsibly packed out, carried entirely off the mountain.
Which means there is a dedicated crew member for this.
The unsung hero of the mountain.
Yes. The guide has such a warm word for this person. They keep the tent spotless, they carry the equipment, and on an ethical climb, they are properly paid and properly respected, just like every crew role.
Which is absolutely vital, and there's a lovely human truth in the text about this. By day 3 of the trek, most groups realize this unsung hero is, they're one of the most important people in their lives.
Oh, I bet. I mean, they're maintaining the morale of the whole group.
Absolutely. So having that pristine tent during the day is splendid. But we do need to talk about the night.
Yes. The 2 a.m. call of nature.
Yeah.
Because it's pitch black, it is minus 10 degrees, and you are wrapped up in a thermal sleeping bag.
And you will wake up needing the toilet. It is a biological certainty.
Why is that, though? I
Well-
mean, beyond just drinking a lot of water?
Well, it's part of the acclimatization process. It's called altitude diuresis. Basically, as you go higher, there's less oxygen, so your breathing rate increases.
Even while you sleep?
Even while you sleep. And breathing that heavily exhales a lot of carbon dioxide, which changes the pH of your blood. It becomes slightly alkaline.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So your kidneys immediately respond by dumping bicarbonate into your urine to balance things out. It literally forces your body to produce more urine.
So needing a wee in the night is actually a really positive sign that your body is adapting.
Exactly. Add that to the 3 to 4 liters of daily drinking water you absolutely must have, and the night wee is guaranteed.
Right. So you have two options. Option one is what the guide calls the head torch shuffle.
The dreaded head torch shuffle.
Yeah. Dragging yourself out of the sleeping bag, putting on frozen boots, and shuffling over to the tent at minus 10 degrees.
Which, to be fair, is cold but entirely manageable.
But option two is the seasoned climber's answer, the pee bottle.
Yes, the pee bottle. It sounds completely undignified to a first-time climber, I know.
It really does. Using a bottle inside a tent.
But when you've got your boots off and you're deep in that thermal bag, preserving your body heat is everything. Opening the tent door just lets all the warm air out.
So the guide is very specific about this bottle. It has to be a dedicated, well-marked, 1 liter minimum bottle.
Well-marked being the operative phrase there. You do not want any confusion in the dark at 2 a.m.
No, absolutely not. And a secure, wide-mouth screw-top lid, because a leak at minus 10 degrees.
That is a guaranteed way to end your expedition. It would be a disaster.
And the guide makes a great point that this works for everyone, right? Women are very well served by this, too.
Yes, using a funnel device like a shiwi. It makes the bottle option work perfectly for everyone.
But there's a massive warning attached to this in the text.
Oh, yes. Practice at home first.
In the shower, maybe.
Exactly. You must practice using this setup before you are oxygen deprived and shivering in a tent. Eliminating the friction of fig leaf gear is the key to success.
Okay, so that handles the biological waste. But what about the washing routine? Because a multi-day trek with no showers.
Right, surviving a week without a shower.
People get so worried about that. But the reassuring truth is that nobody cares.
Literally nobody cares. You're all in the same boat.
And the routine is actually quite civilized. I was surprised by this.
Yeah, you get bowls of warm washing water brought to your tent morning and evening.
Which must feel amazing.
Oh, it does. And you use wet wipes in between, a quick dry towel, and you keep clean base layers strictly for sleeping.
But obviously all those wipes have to be strictly packed out.
Always. Everything gets packed out.
But the critical pivot in the text here, and this really shocked me, is that the real danger to your summit isn't body odor or feeling fresh, it's hand hygiene.
This is genuinely the most important point.
Is getting a little dirt on your hands really a bigger threat than, say, giant foot blisters?
It absolutely is. Much bigger. Because stomach upsets from unwashed hands and far more summit bids than blisters ever do.
Wait, really? Just from unwashed hands?
Yes. At altitude, your body diverts blood away from your digestive system to oxygenate your brain and heart, so your stomach becomes incredibly sensitive.
Oh, I see. So it's much more susceptible to pathogens.
Exactly. So rigorous hand sanitizer use before every single meal is absolutely critical. It's a medical necessity, really.
Because if you get a stomach bug,
You get severely dehydrated, and the ascent is over. All that training ruined by a microscopic lapse in hygiene.
wow. Okay, so hand sanitizer is your best friend.
Oh, without a doubt.
Now, building on these sort of unspoken realities, we should talk about the practicalities for women. Because altitude and travel can do strange things.
Yes. Roughly half of all climbers are women, and the physiological impacts of high altitude and international travel are profound.
The guide respectfully points out that menstrual cycles can shift completely unexpectedly due to the stress on the body.
They really can. So the golden rule is just to pack supplies regardless of what the calendar says, even if you're sure you won't need them.
Right. And you just bring sealable bags to pack everything out.
Exactly. And this is another reason why the private toilet tent is so invaluable. It gives you unhurried private space to deal with things.
Which you definitely don't get in the public huts. And the guide also mentions, keeping it clear that this isn't medical advice, of course, but cycle timing is a completely legitimate conversation to have with your doctor before you travel.
Absolutely. The mountain routine works perfectly well when these things are planned for rather than ignored.
And on a slightly lighter note, packing a buff is apparently the perfect solution for the inevitable bad hair days.
A tubular bandana covers a multitude of sins, yes.
Brilliant. So just to quickly touch on trail etiquette during the day, between camps.
Yeah.
If nature calls while you're walking,
The rules are very straightforward. You step off the path, you stay well away from any water sources, and you pack it all out.
the golden rule of the mountain. Leave it better than you found it.
Leave it better than you found it. Exactly. The guides are brilliant at managing this, making sure nobody is ever stranded or embarrassed.
So, synthesizing all of this for you listening, this bathroom anxiety that feels absolutely enormous at midnight in front of Google, it basically vanishes by day 2.
It really does become a non-issue.
Yeah. The private tent handles 90% of the problem. A trusted pee bottle handles the freezing nights. And rigorous hand hygiene keeps you healthy enough to reach the peak.
And once it's handled, you can just get back to the part where you stand on the roof of Africa.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But you had a final provocative thought on this, didn't you? From the source material.
I did, yeah. I mean, we look at the awkwardness of a pee bottle or the lack of modern plumbing as these big mental hurdles. But perhaps stripping away our modern sterile comforts isn't just a logistical necessity.
Right.
Perhaps it is the exact psychological shedding that we require to truly connect with the raw, untamed reality of the mountain. You have to let go of control to actually experience the wildness of it.
That is a wonderful way to look at it. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this, do subscribe so you never miss the latest from the Vertical Sky Journal. You will find a full written version of this episode over on our journal at vertical-sky.com. And we would love you to come and say hello on Instagram, where we are at VERTICALSKYTZW. Until next time, pole and keep dreaming of the mountain.